This is not easy.
Using the right one.
Has to follow the sort of things that have been said so far. It's probably one of the most difficult things that I've done. I cannot think of a more fitting tribute to someone who spent her entire career serving others than this event tonight. It is good to see so many of you turn out for such a wonderful person. Her family, friends, and colleagues who worked so hard to put this together did an amazing job. Please join me in thanking them tonight. Unlike most of you who do real work for a living, I'm paid to talk. Part of my job is to give speeches. I don't find it difficult, unlike some. I have no problem speaking in front of large groups. At least I felt that way until Kathy approached me to accept an award given to her by Nexa last October.
Just read it.
I wasn't intimidated by the group of familiar gasoline distributors and C-store operators who were in attendance. It was the pressure of doing something right by Kathy, saying the perfect words that would do her justice. Frankly, it was the most pressure I felt when giving a speech since I asked my father-in-law to be to marry his daughter. I was seriously nervous. Just imagine Kathy Barber's accepting an award on behalf of the industry for all her outstanding work. She couldn't make it because of the way she was feeling at the time, and she asked me to do that. Recently, at that time, I was just named president of my company. We had one of our first meetings of our members, and I had to go to my chairman of the board and say, I can't make the first meeting in my new role with the company because I had to be in Massachusetts accepting an award on her behalf. And he said, we'll move the meeting. That's how much SEMA thinks of me. Once I fumbled my way through the October speech, I felt a relief that I survived. Until a couple of months ago, when I offered to do what I could to help tonight's event. And guess what? I was asked to give another speech. Not good. If I thought I felt pressure in October to accept the award on her behalf, now I had to stand before her. At least this time she didn't ask to read the speech, edit it, and provide me with suggestions. This one was on my own. I first learned of Kathy's illness when she called me on a weekend. I think it was Memorial Weekend. When I saw that she was calling me on a weekend, I thought nothing of it. I had no idea that she was ill. We just went through a legislative session a couple months before. No sweat. She performed her magic as usual, testifying before the General Law Committee, which has become a custom for us over the last decade and a half. We have a long history. When I saw that she was calling me on a weekend, I thought nothing of it. I had no idea that she was ill. We just went through a legislative session a couple months before. No sweat. She performed her magic as usual, testifying before the General Law Committee, which has become a custom for us over the last decade and a half. We have a long history of talking at unusual hours, probably to our husbands' dismay at times, and my wife's. It's hard to be on the phone with an attractive, energetic woman after midnight, but we did that very often. And it was always about working on the defense of this industry. You can see that Kathy and I have worked on testimony before the Connecticut General Assembly many, many times. The difference with this weekend call from her is that I didn't hear the intense, excited, focused person that I was accustomed to working with over the past 14 years. Not only was it shocking to me that I did not hear that person, it was all too familiar. As a cancer survivor myself, I am instantly identified with confusion, fear, and anger. It was a devastating call that will be with me for the rest of my life. The difference between the call that she made to me that Monday and when I learned that I had cancer 21 years ago is it didn't take long for Kathy to turn the corner and start to tell me how resolved she was to get her arms around what was wrong and how she was going to fix it. And for those of you who know her, why she doesn't need to wear a name tag, that is absolutely true. I have witnessed this behavior from her many times over the years, and other behaviors that I will not share with you tonight. Right, Senator Doyle? Her attitude quickly changed from being distraught to being determined in the span of 20 minutes. It's not what I would expected from most people, but Kathy, well, you know, not a surprise at all. We have fought many battles together over the years in the legislature. Kathy's vast experience, knowledge, passion, and the ability to communicate with legislators has been quite something to witness. And through dozens of legislative battles, she took on for her employer, NEXA, ICPA, SEMA, the industry. She always jumped in with a I can win attitude, and we will win attitude. I want to share with you some stories of how Kathy took her can't lose personality and blended it into the work that she has done on our behalf. On all of us.
Oh,
She is known in the Connecticut State House for providing certain flair when delivering her testimony before the legislative committee. And she brought that flair to her speech tonight. For those of you who have not witnessed it, it is a Broadway production. For example, when we're dealing with another petroleum gross earnings tax increase, she's on the record as saying, raising the gasoline tax in Connecticut will enhance our reputation. We are already considered the pass-through state by drivers, now we'll be called the pass-out state. Another favorite quote that I remember her saying on a recent effort to mandate the installation of generators at gasoline stations